Hi, my name's Oremaster101. This is Dungeon of Dreadrock, and I'm ready to just fucking die, I guess. I don't know.
Would we'll pitch to the viewers. Would balls in your jaws proficiency be performance or persuasion in 5e D&D?
It would be you die immediately. I'm sorry, everybody. I might be a little cross with with my co-host Sarah Yeti tonight because a conversation that was meant to be like private was put in our group in the group Discord that we share.
Do you want me to delete it?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Okay.
To be fun, it's for the Maymays. I'm not actually upset.
Blood donation centers are volunteer-based or de-incentivize donors lying about their medical background to donate blood.
I mean, if you're a gay man and you want to donate blood, you have to lie.
Charles Bonnet syndrome, a condition that causes a person with deteriorating vision to see things that aren't real.
Huh.
The first Minnesota infantry lost 82% of their fighting strength on July 2nd, 1863, at the battles of Gettysburg, as they repeatedly fanned off waves of Virginian troops. This stands as the largest loss of any surviving U.S. military unit in a single day's engagement.
Huh.
Small piston engine planes still use leaded gasoline.
That doesn't sound good.
Quentin Tarantino referred to M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong from 1992 to 2009.
Huh.
There are 225 species of owl with wingspans that range from 10 inches to 5 feet.
Ooh, that sounds deadly.
In 1991, as Captain H.R. McMaster led a legendary tank battle in Iraq that destroyed a much larger Iraqi tank force. He defeated 28 Iraqi Republican Guard tanks in 23 minutes with no losses, using only 4 tanks.
Hmm.
This earned him a Silver Star for valor. Did you know it was actually really commonplace that if you, like, when you served in, like, war, and you did, like, something big, like a big event, like you won a decisive battle, or you showed a lot of like effort, like saving your companions from like a near death situation, or just like going above and beyond, oftentimes you would be rewarded with land and or a cash reward.
Ooh.
The medal system that we currently use, especially in the United States, came into effect because people higher ups realized if you give a kid a medal, you don't have to give him like land or cash.
Oh, that's
Or
fucked up.
yeah, that's that's how that happened. Werewolf was a Nazi plan to create a resistance force which would operate behind enemy lines as the Allies advanced through Germany.
Hmm.
Sea otters were extinct in Washington state between 1910 and 1965. The current population originally came from Alaska, where they were caught and evacuated from areas where the U.S. was testing nuclear bombs between 1965 and 1972, and subsequently moved to Washington state.
That's a. That's not good.
Yeah,
Really bad, actually.
86% of acute onset OCD causes are linked to streptococcus infections in children due to pediatric acute onset neuropsychiatric syndrome.
Where? What the fuck am I missing?
1914, 17-year-old Princess Mary decided to distribute 10 boxes containing small Christmas gifts to the British Empire troops on the front lines of World War I. After trying to finance it with her own allowance, she set up a fund appealing to the public and raised the equivalent of $17 million. The big brassy theme song of Monty Python's Life of Brian was performed by a 16-year-old girl.
Interesting.
Orgasms lead to the increase of endocannabinoid, explaining why people get hungry after sex or masturbation. This is the same system that gets triggered when one smokes cannabis. Cleveland was once the United States' 5th largest city.
Okay, that's how that works. Okay.
Analysis of fish caught in giant water surfaces following the meteor impact that caused the KPG mass extinction event some 66 million years ago and ended the reign of the non-avian dinosaurs show that it happened in boreal spring and austral autumn, contributing to the death of species coming out of hibernation. Baseball Hall of Famer Andrew Dawson went unsigned in the 1986-1987 offseason due to collusion. So he showed up to the Cubs spring training with a blank contract and let the team fill in whatever terms they wanted. Dawson would go on to win the National League Most Valuable Player award that year.
I messed up.
In the U.S., courts ruled that under U.S. labor law, distribution and disruption of property rights was necessary in order to safeguard the right of the collective bargaining. Right to a labor union and workers' rights have been some prerogative over certain aspects of property rights in relation to employers' property. In 1922, the Deputy Prime Minister to Ireland, Kevin O'Higgins, ordered the execution of Rory O'Connor, who was the best man at his wedding only 1 year prior.
What the shit?
Pigeons can see their butts and faces at the same time. The first tanks carried 2 pigeons for sending messages. Pigeons were thrown out from dedicated hatches in the armor with short messages attached to them and flew back to headquarters. On the JH-7 fighter jet's maiden flight on December 7th, 1988, its engines started vibrating so wildly by the time it reached the airfield, none of the instruments worked anymore since their connections to the panel had all been shaken loose. Nevertheless, pilots managed to land the prototype safely. It took an Iowa man named Otto Frederick Rawweeder some 16 years to perfect and sell the first bread slicing machine. A prototype made in 1912 was destroyed in a fire, and he didn't sell his first slicing machine until 1928.
Interesting.
In 5 years, 80% of the bread sold in the United States was pre-sliced. Alice Munro, co-founder of a bookstore with her then-husband Jim, started writing after reading some of the store's stock and thinking, I can write better books than this. In 2013, she won a Nobel Prize in Literature.
2, 3. Haha! Teleportation murder.
There was a common cold research unit in the UK, which existed from 1946 to 1989. The only successfully developed treatment they came up with was zinc lozenges.
Zinc lozenges?
Yeah, if you take a lozenge that has a bunch of zinc in it, it can help reduce the effects of common cold.
Interesting.
Jack Sparrow was supposed to be a sporting role to Will and Elizabeth, but Dev's performance was so popular, the studio decided he should be one of the main members of the franchise.
Hmm.
The biggest known underground city on Earth is found in Drin, Turkey. U.S. pedestrian fatalities are mostly because of SUVs, which are twice likely to kill an increasing number of vehicles, twice likely to kill than people, pedestrians, than cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Robert Evans is a church minister and amateur the record for visual discoveries of supernovas. Utilizing nothing more than a model telescope sighted in his own backyard and an astonishing visual memory for star fields and galactic features, Evans has discovered 39 supernovas.
Champagne supernova.
The reason so many 90s cartoons had a shoe education message for kids is because of the introduction of the 1991 Children's Television Act, which required kids' TV programs to serve the educational and informational needs of children.
Huh. That's dumb.
Cabeza de Vodka is one of four survivors out of 400 people of the 1927 Navarrese expedition. During 8 years' travel across what is now the U.S. Southwest, he became a trader and faith healer to various Native American tribes before reconnecting with the Spanish in Mexico in 1536.
Hmm.
Tapeworms can grow up to 80 feet long.
And have been used in diets before, which is fucked up.
Stotting is a act where herbivores will jump high into the air with stiff legs to presumably signal to predators that they are too fit to be attempted to catch.
Huh. Interesting.
Thomas Midgelly, considered the most harmful inventor in history, invented leaded gasoline and chlorofluorocarbons. Both these inventions have caused a great magnitude of damage to both human and planetary health.
Huh.
Chuck E. Cheese was created by the Atari video games as a way to open up arcade games to younger children.
I did not know that.
Yep. Modern diesel trains can move 1 ton of freight 492 miles on a single gallon of gas.
Huh.
And that's it for Random Fact by my guys and gals
Bye.
on Binary Pals.
Bye.